We've covered the deaths, we've covered the songs, we've ranted about the fans, and showed people why Undyne is a badass. Now, let's finally cover the fights themselves. I'm Cloudy from EKG, and today I'm covering the top 10 fights in Undertale. Now, a few things when considering which fights are the best. I took into account the scenes before the fights, the music, the mechanics of the fight, the reason for fighting, and most importantly, how fun it was. So here they are, the top 10 fights in Undertale.
Number 10.
Metaton EX. Starting off the list, we have the main monster of the core and hotlands, Metaton. I loved all of the scenes with Metaton leading up to this fight, and the reveal that Elfies had been lying to you so she could play the hero was awesome. And the fact you feel a bit hopeless as your pea shooter does diddle-a-dick to his robotic body, it's kind of a cool build-up. But then, you flip that switch and the real fight begins. This fight made me go get the Tem armor in my first playthrough because I kept dying. The mechanic of raising the rating was unique too, and I've never tried to kill Metaton here, so I'm speaking more about the pacifist fight. It was the right amount of challenging and fun, and oh god, that music. It really makes you feel like you're dancing the night away with Metaton.
Number 9.
Night Knight and Mad Jax. If you've seen my other top 10s, you know I like to include entries like this. And honestly, this one was probably the easiest. Whether it's because you only have 20 health, and the two seem to fill up the whole screen, or the fact that Night Knight takes 3 goddamn hits to go down, the fight feels important in both a pacifist route and a genocide route. It feels like you are getting the best the monsters have. Since you've taken on the head of their army, they've called on some mercenaries to take you out. It's an awesome fight, and one I knew I had to include.
Number 8.
Toriel. Where do I start? Oh yeah, that song. Heartache is so good. Anyway, when it comes to the meaning of this fight, this one is a top contender. You're facing your mother, who doesn't want to let you go. She's trying to protect you. That hits deep. The music is phenomenal, and for many, this was their first experience of not knowing how to spare a monster. A lot of people gave in and took down Toriel, and the fact that for many, this fight will forever be their first kill is an obvious choice for the list. The dialogue leading up to the fight still makes my heart hurt. Toby, you clever bastard. And the dialogue as she dies, or after you've successfully gotten her to stand down, will break even the coldest of hearts. Now, for the battle itself, Toriel throws everything she has at you. Until you hit 2 HP. That's why this battle slipped down the list. It's one of the few battles that you can exploit and not have to do much of anything, and really. That aside though, it is really a great battle, and it deserves to be on the list.
Number 7.
Asriel Dreemurr. The second exploitable fight on this list, but this one just feels much, much more important. Hell, everyone is there, the music is epic as hell, and Ezreal attacks are so over the top, it just makes you feel like it's the end. The fact you can't die ruins it a bit for me. It turns it more into an interactive cutscene than a true battle, which is cool and makes for one of the best scenes in Undertale, but it does take away from the fight itself a bit. But I couldn't sleep right if I didn't include this on the list, so...
Number 6.
Muffit. When it comes to the weight of the fight, Muffit's is a bit lacking. But this fight has one of, if not my favorite battle mechanics in the game. The line mechanic was used amazingly well here, and the way it's expanded on when her pet shows up is awesome, really. The pre-fight dialogue is cool too. It adds the sense of dread before the fight, as you know you're walking into the spider's web, literally. Oh, and the best part of the fight? The music. Spider Dance is just one of those themes that just fits the fight, you know? And it really makes you feel like you're dancing along with Muffit and her spiders.
Number 5.
Omega Flowey. Now, we are getting to the tricky part of the list. All 5 of these are super close. So if you're mad one didn't get number 1, don't worry, all 5 of these are outstanding and could easily be in that number 1 spot. Now, let your mind go back to your first playthrough of the pacifist or neutral route of Undertale. You've just seen Asgore die, and you see this flowery bitch pop out of the ground as the souls circle around him. Your game then crashes. That moment right there, genius is an understatement. The tone Toby sets here is truly outstanding. And then you boot up your game. And you see Flowey's giant face as he basically just sits there mocking you. And then that happens. It's hard to explain the feeling that gives you the first time you see it, but it's perfect. Now, the fight itself is alright. It's the right amount of chaotic and crazy to make you feel uneasy for the duration, but after the initial shock, it's nothing too challenging, honestly. This fight made it to number 5 by the setup of the fight and the introduction of Photoshop Flowey.
Number 4.
But Pyrus! I will never get sick of doing that voice. Anyway, this fight is one that really nails the humor element of it all. From the in-fight dialogue to the whole introduction section of the fight. Of course, the real battle doesn't begin until the famous line is uttered. You're blue now! And then, bone trousel, bone trousel, bone trousel. One of the best songs in the game hits, and you know Pyrus means business now. I love the gravity mechanic that is used in this fight, and it really makes you feel like it's your fault for getting hit. Where in a lot of times in the bullet hell situations, you feel like you may have gotten cornered or there's just too much stuff on screen to focus. Here, it's all on you, and I like that. The weight of this fight really isn't there, since if the Pyrus kills you enough times, he just lets you go. But hell, I didn't know that my first time through, so it was tense as hell. But really, we know this fight is the diet version of the Skeleton Bros fight, which leads us to
Number 3.
Sans. And now for the real deal. Oh man! This fight. The most challenging fight in the game. You may not think so, but understand, if you do think that, oh, this fight's easy, you are in the minority. 99% of people understand this fight is the most challenging. It was designed that way. That was the intention of this fight. Anyway, back to the fight itself. My god, the pre-fight dialogue. The iconic lines Sans says here have been stuck in every single fan's mind. Like, are you kidding me? The amount of quotable lines that comes from the pre-fight alone, or hell, even the fight itself, is insane. And the fact for at least 10 deaths you'll get a different pre-fight dialogue is awesome. It makes it almost worth it dying all those times. Almost. Sans is one of the best characters in the game. Yeah, he's a bit oversaturated, but he kind of deserves it. Like, obviously, I wish the fans would relax a bit, you know, the blue skeleton dick shit can go away, but he's an awesome character. He's so deep and complex, and this fight is really the final piece to putting together Sans' character. I love the gravity mechanic, as I said before, and oh man, the way they implemented it here, just outstanding. You have to be so precise with each jump. I love it. Oh, and I haven't brought up the music yet, right? Because we all know Megalovania, ha! Said it right, you bitches, makes my dick rock fucking hard! Easily one of the best fights in the game, and it was very hard not to put this one at number 1.
Number 2.
Undying, the Undying. Yeah, bet y'all thought I'd put this at number 1, didn't ya? Nope. The pre-fight scene will forever be my favorite scene in the game. Undyne crawling back from the brink of death to save monsters, to save humans, to save the world. Really, phone? To save the world. It's straight up some Dragon Ball shit. Like, it just makes me feel some feelings that scenes and games really don't make me feel all the time. It's just, And the music. The Earth Refused to Die is so good. And really makes you feel like Undyne has the world behind her. And oh my god, that last line she says before the fight starts.
You're gonna have to try a little harder than that.
Oh god, so good! And then the narration. The true heroine appears. My god, I've been gushing about this fight for so long. We haven't even gotten into the goddamn fight. This is probably my favorite fight in terms of playing the fight. I love the amount of skill this takes, the muscle memory you end up building up from playing it so many times, and the fact that Undyne is silent. It's all business from both ends. Oh yeah, and it has my favorite song in the game playing, Battle Against a True Hero. Now, I know I put Megalovania at number 1 on my top 10 songs, but that's because I was trying to do a top 10 best list. You know, objectively putting the songs in order. But when it comes to my favorites, this is my favorite song. And the cherry on top of this is the fact that even when she goes out, she does so with a smile on her face, telling you she's not going to lose hope, that this world will carry on.
Number 1.
Asgore. Honestly, a part of me wanted to end the video right there. It's hard to top that, really. Where I might enjoy the genocide battles a bit more in terms of gameplay, this is the most complete package when it comes to a fight, the pre-fight, and everything together, and what's been leading up to this. The whole pacifist route has been leading up to this moment. All of the characters have talked about Asgore, whether it be warning you about him or telling you that he's just a softie. You're finally face to face with him. Then he fucking destroys your mercy button. And you have that realization, oh no, I have to fight him. It's so powerful. And that feeling is one a lot of people try to deny. Watch Barry from Game Grumps or Eric on our channel. Most people don't want to hit that fight button, even though it becomes your only option. That's a very powerful message. And oh god, the music. Like, is it a surprise that I'm gonna gush about the music? Because Asgore is so good! It carries all of the right emotions. This fight is just everything right with Undertale. From the shocking destruction of your mercy button, to the raw emotions, to the somber ending. To me, this fight really is the best. And I could have put the other two up there, but hey, Goat Dad needs some love too. So, that's my top 10, everyone. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, Cloudy here. Hopefully this is my last Undertale video because I've done enough videos on this. So if you like this video, leaving a like, comment, subscribing, all that stuff helps. I'm honestly just glad you're all here watching again. Thank you. See you next time.